Alright, welcome everyone. This is MoXoM. Today I got a really special unboxing I'd like to do for you today, and that is for the AJH Synth Finaliser R-EQ module for Eurorack, and that stands for Reverb EQ. And so what this module is, it is a reverb and an equalizer and a maximizer. Okay, so what that's going to do is you kind of want to use that at the end of your output of your mixer. You know, it's like a like your mastering effects chain. Okay, so it's really common in a mastering effects chain to add a little bit of reverb. This one actually comes with 7 mono/stereo reverb types, a 4-band equalizer, which is really nice, and then it also has a sonic maximizer / enhancer kind of thing. One thing to say about it, it looks from the surface as if it's going to be a stereo module, but it's actually you really have to read the literature on it to understand how it works. And I have to kind of think about this to get it right. It has a left and a right input, but the left input is going to get all 3 of the effects, if you will. It's going to get the reverb, the EQ, and the maximizer. I believe on the right side, you're only getting the reverb, so you're not going to get the maximizer and the EQ. So I was a little disappointed with that at first because I was using part of the bitbox as stereo for the samples, audio, vocal samples and whatnot. So after getting this mod, everything's going to go back to mono, which is fine. A lot of your clubs and those sort of things, places, their PAs are going to be mono anyway. So it's really not a huge issue. I think for what I'm getting, it's worth it to me to have this. And my plan is if I need to go back to stereo or really want to go back to stereo in the future, I'll buy 2 of these modules. It would take up a bit of real estate, as these modules are 18 HP each, but that's not too bad. So yeah, so anyways, let's go ahead and dig in here. This is actually this is an exchange item. So I had bought this and apparently had some audio trouble with it, and maybe you heard that in some of my recent videos. There was kind of like a weird kind of squiggly digital sound and some static. So I actually sent the module to the UK, and Alan was nice enough to exchange that for a new one, so that's what we have today. So yeah, it was really amazing. I sent it, I'll use companies. I sent it USPS. I think it was priority. Man, it took like 20 days to get there. I thought someone had drop kicked it off the truck or something, but it did actually get there, and man, this thing was sent back to me in lightning speed. I think it took it was supposed to take 2 days, it ended up taking 3, and I really can't complain about that. So packed with a bunch of paper, and here's the real box that we're looking for. So there you go, we'll take a look at that. That is what you're looking for, the Finaliser REQ, which I can only assume stands for reverb and EQ. And let me cut this open here. That should be enough. I haven't played with my cat today, and I just got home from work, so you may hear her screaming in the background. She requires at least an hour of play a day, or she'll scream at me. So there we are. Lovely packaging in bubble wrap. It is a bubble wrap bag sitting in a bed of bubble wrap, which is nice. So I appreciate that. And it looks like we have some screws, no washers. that could be a big deal for you, that it doesn't have washers, but you should probably get Nerlies anyways. They're really convenient, and they all have washers, so then your entire rig will be set up right. So this is nice. Power cord comes pre-connected, and it looks like it is about a mile long here. So it's thoughtfully rubber banded in place and already attached, which is nice. So if you're nervous about connecting gear for the first time, that takes 50% of the worry out. But look at that thing. You could probably reach at least down a row if you needed to. So yeah, I went ahead and got the black model, which is very nice. And if we look at that, you can see this switch here is a nice tactile switch, and that is going to be for your different your different reverb versions. You have your reverb amount, you have your enhancer for the high and enhancer for the low, which is really nice that you have a separation of those. And then you have your boost for high, your boost for high mid, your boost for low mid, your boost for low, and then you have a frequency sweep for the low mid, and for the high mid. And you don't have one for the high, which is fine, because you also, if you can see this here, you have a switch between a 2 kilohertz shelf and a 5 kilohertz shelf. Okay, and then you have either shelf or peak, I believe is what that is, on the behavior of your low frequency, and then you have your EQ on and your enhancer on, so you have nice toggle switches for those. We'll plug those in and see how clicky they sound or staticky, but I imagine that's the kind of thing you'll probably just set and forget. Here's your left and right in, and of course your left and right out, and it looks like you have a CV, which is probably going to control the amount of reverb, which can be really cool, you know, in an effector or whatever. So that is basically it. Brand new, smells like equipment. And we'll take a look at the circuit board if you want. It looks like there's some maybe proprietary I/O chips here. And I don't know, you probably can't see these, but they actually have like a AJH logo on them. A couple of them here. It looks like this one, and this one. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Doesn't look like there's you know, there's no pins for upgrades or anything like that, expansions or anything like that. But yeah, that's fine. This thing is very specifically, it's got one job to do, and I imagine it does it well. So we'll plug it into the case. I'll give you a first impression, and we'll see how it sounds. And anyway, it's getting a little long and winded, but that's what I got for you. Thanks guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next video.